Welcome to guys that are into being called daddy during sex should be euthanized. Today, we're going to be reading Judge Angels.
Yes, Daddy.
Today is an important day for the Clarks. After 10 months, Mrs. Clark is finally going to give birth to her child.
Wait.
After how?
Oh, 10 months?
It is possible.
Okay, it is possible.
Everybody in the region knows Mrs. Clark. Oh, sorry. Everybody in the region knows Mr. Clark of the Clarks, the famous and serious judge.
Not like those wacky judges. I sentenced you for 5 years in pie.
After a few hours, the nurse delivering the child walks out of the room with an awkward expression on her face and goes to Mr. Clark's office to see him.
Wait, hold on a second, because I'm just like, so there's a nurse walks out of the walks out of the room and goes to Mr. Judge Face's office. Why does he have an office in the hospital if he's a judge?
Because he's judging the fucking babies, obviously.
Yeah, he's not a judge as in you know, a magistrate. Like
Beauty contest judge.
Yeah, he judges.
That's one ugly baby.
He takes it very
judges
seriously.
the newborn baby pageant.
He judges which ones actually go to their parents.
He decides which babies go to their parents and which ones go to the salt mine.
Mr. Clark?
The nurse looks at him with a shocking expression on her face. I'm just trying to think of a voice for Mr. Clark.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Yes, what is it? Mr. Clark
Phil Brain,
looks at the panicking woman as he frowns.
You might need to see it for yourself, Mr. Clark.
What is it that needs me... what is it that needs me to go take a look at? What?
Why, what is it? A dictionary? Fuck you.
Why not tell me now?
Well, your child seems to be a bit... It says special. It says special.
It says special in an extra set of quotation marks. Like, you guys can make your own jokes there, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm not
put it on the screen.
I'm not touching that one.
Also, like, once again, the judge who's at the hospital in his office to judge is like, yeah, your wife's just given birth. Can you come and take a look at your child? Why should I look at my child?
Why are you disturbing me? I've got more important things to be looking at.
I'm
than my child.
managing this boat company. The two arrives at the room where Mrs. Clark is taking a rest. She's lying on the bed, and next to her is Mr. and Mrs. Clark's child. Mr. Clark noticed...
Why did you have to emphasise that it's like, what, you just wandered into the room next to your just given birth wife, and if there's a baby there, that could be anyone's baby! You know? People just like walk around, oh, I've left my baby here, this is my baby, swap it round and
Why is it Creepypastas always struggle to give names to anyone else? Like, especially parents. Just give them names and then you can make it easier than say Mr. and Mrs.
I'm sure they gave them I'm sure they gave them names in Jeff the Killer. It was one of them was Barbara.
Why not?
It was Barbara and like, I don't know.
Randy
Yeah, just Quaid.
Yeah, Randy.
Where?
Barbara and Quaid.
Oh, he said Barbara and Blaze. Just Wesley. Jeff the Killer's dad is Wesley Snipes.
That explains you.
So not only is he murdering people, he's avoiding taxes. I feel I should have pegged onto this just before he killed Randy. It was like some motherfuckers always start unscuffing.
That's why he's so tough, because he's like 1/4 vampire.
Daywalker.
Yeah. Somebody will probably make that fucking canon now that like Jeff the Killer is a 1/4 vampire. Mr. Clark notices that the other people who helped with the birthing also seem to be embarrassed. We've hit another one of those English is not my first language stories, haven't we? When he walks up to the child, he sees his child. He's not blind. That's okay. Fine. There are easier ways to get that across, but... And instantly, the expression on Mr. Clark's face becomes more shocked than that of everyone's.
Yeah, but weren't they all just embarrassed before? Like, so okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here because I want to know. Like, there's a whole bunch of babies just being given birth, and everyone said they're embarrassed by it, all the way it looks. So I'm waiting to find out what it is.
I think it's great.
Mr. Clark's face becomes more shocked than that of everyone's. Great sentence. The child is a girl.
Whoa! Oh, no wonder he was embarrassed.
That would be
Oh, it's got a vagina and everything.
Yeah, they didn't mention the story takes place in the 17th century. just like they just overlooked that.
Mr. Clark is
Mr.
actually
Clark.
Henry the fucking 8th.
It's like
That's the second time Henry VIII has been brought up in this today, randomly.
It was like one of his other wives, Catherine of Aragon.
I think it's like Catherine of Aragon.
Catherine of Aragon. Catherine the giant spider. I'm sorry. I know it's been a while since I was at university, but I think I'd remember if Henry VIII was married to a giant arachnid.
That's what Enemy's all about.
Thank you. I've been wondering about the movie Enemy. It turns out that Enemy is a retelling of the story of Henry VIII about how all women are spiders. That's what you're getting at.
I want to know, Gemma, where did you learn history? Fake because of Grand Order. This fucking...
I want to know. I feel like you meant to say Aragog. There's no way you didn't. But why?
At first I thought she said Aragorn. That would always...
No one's gonna say that.
At least that's
Henry
Henry
was a king.
Oh.
It was a slip of the tongue.
No wonder he couldn't give birth to a son. He was another man.
So Catherine of Aragog gave Henry hundreds of children,
But unfortunately,
none of them were heirs because they were all spider people.
it's written down that spiders can't inherit the throne. You see, unlike America and its loopholes, like how there's no rule saying dogs can't play basketball. Fuck you, Airbud.
Right, okay, so going back to what set us off spiralling into Henry VIII and his giant spider wife.
They sent a portrait over and the top half is a woman, next to her she's a rider from below.
So the king chewing on some big old fucking chicken leg, right? It's like his wife's sitting there with a whole cow just liquefying its organs. It's like
Child is a girl.
We are 3 paragraphs in.
I'm trying to think of more.
But her hair is in the colour of blonde.
Oh, really?
Unlike her parents.
Oh wait, I forgot what the story was.
Mrs. Clark's is red, while Mr. Clark's is brown. It must have been a relief that she didn't come up with red hair. She's already a girl. The most surprising thing, however, is that the girl has a pair of terrifying eyes. Her eyes are all black. The pupil, the whites of the eye, pure black. What monstrous creature is that? Mr. Clark shouts furiously. Nobody talks back. Suddenly, Mr. Clark grabs the still resting Mrs. Clark. You didn't mess with other people, did you?
Spiders.
Or how can you give birth to such a monster? Like I care about it.
Oh, I'm a cunt. Look at me.
See if I hear...
right now. Oh, I'm alone. Literally no.
Wait, so do you think he's more freaked out by the fact that she has, pitch black eyes, or that she's blonde?
What bothers me as well is the thought is my child's been born freakish with inhuman eyes. Maybe it's blind. Probably got some kind of birth defect. My thought is, did you have an affair?
It
What?
can't possibly be my super sperm.
Yeah, in all fairness, this guy, is the King of England and believes he was appointed by God. He's about to dismantle the very fabric of the church, the most powerful entity in the country. Like I care about it. Mr. Clark throws her back onto the bed. Tell my lawyer to come here, concludes Mr. Clark as he leaves the room. A few days later, Mr. Clark's lawyer, Taylor, arrives.
Mr. Clark, about your
Yeah,
daughter.
squeaky voice teen.
Yes.
She certainly is your daughter without a doubt. The DNA test shows did not go wrong. The scientists
Can we get a picture of squeaky voice teen in a suit with a briefcase?
show that her eyesight is normal. The doctor even said that he has never seen a case like this. Her eyeballs are black, but she has no problem in her eyesight. In fact, her eyesight is 2 times of the normal person.
Right, okay, I know this guy's a lawyer and not a doctor, and he might not relay the information as he heard it, but what the fuck does 2 times of a normal person's even mean?
She's got high definition
She's got
eyes.
4 eyes, because she's a fucking
Oh,
spider.
for God's sake! They just comb her hair up and they're like the other 6.
Yeah, Jimmy, I bet you wouldn't have brought up fucking Catherine of Aragon if you'd known you were gonna throw that fucking mispronunciation out, would you?
No.
That's derailed the whole fucking episode. Every 5 sentences just, cause he's a fucking spider. Taylor, standing in front of Mrs. Clark's desk, hands him a stack of documents. Mr. Clark's desk, excuse me, hands him a stack of documents on the girl's information. But she's a monster. She's not perfect. What I want is a perfect child.
Alright, Mr. Cell, calm the fuck down.
Mr. Clark says, without even taking a glance at the documents.
Then what should we do? Hand her to the orphanage?
Taylor asks, no, that would affect people's impression on me, ...
And I'm a cunt.
If that's the case, then I shall not let her go to school. I will recruit tutors to teach her. Don't let anyone see her. Oh, also, tell the nurses who helped deliver the child not to tell anyone about this.
In fact, I want them dead.
This is a very bad issue to our family. Mr. Clark closes his book and looks at Taylor. If any accident happens, just finish her off, ... She is a failure, after all,
For having black eyes.
So I think that's kind of you probably shouldn't say that sort of stuff out loud.
Also, the reason I mentioned the comma is that it really changes the meaning of a sentence, because if they'd left the comma out, it would read, she is a failure after all, which I think is what they meant to say, but the comma implies he's just, he's figured that out through evidence, it's like, well, now she's done this one thing, she is a failure after all, and it just doesn't make sense.
No.
Years later, Dina Angela, the extraordinary girl, is now 13 years old. She doesn't like to talk, possibly because she was locked up in the mansion all her life by her father.
The Resident Evil mansion.
You've definitely got more mature kind of tastes than me, because I was literally picturing Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Therefore, became anti-socialized. Is it Dina or Dinah?
I called her Dina.
How about we call her Dina Lady?
How about Dino?
Dino Spumoni knows that her father is a very famous judge, and that he does things very fairly. Always looks
So fairly.
at things in a neutral point of view. However,
Except for eyes.
he always seeks for perfection. Neutral doesn't necessarily mean fair. Perfection on everything, which is why he has a very bad relationship with Dina.
Dina De Laurentiis.
Despite knowing that her mother and father were never so well with each other before she was born. What the fuck does that mean?
Oh.
It can't be changed. Both of their parents decided that the marriage themselves...
What?
It can't be changed. Both of their parents... Oh, I see. Both of their parents decided the marriage themselves that time. No, actually, no, I don't. I thought I had it for a minute, because I was like, okay, do you mean it was an arranged marriage?
It did their parents.
I don't... What? Here's the sentence exactly as it appears. It's a very long sentence. Despite knowing that her mother and father were never so well with each other before she was even born, it can't be changed. Both of their parents decided the marriage themselves that time.
That is word salad.
I can't unpack that.
That's word salad.
Dina has never stepped outside before because of her eyes. She gets herself a mirror and looks at her eyes. They are pure black, but looking closely, she actually sees little sparkles in them, like a small galaxy. She is often fascinated when looking into her own eyes. She's incredibly narcissistic. Her blonde hair...
Does that, it's not actually, she doesn't have sparkles in her eyes. She's just got, cataracts, setting in or something like that.
Her blonde hair is short and messy, but she usually has them brushed. Right, them? Wasn't she just... I know she's moved on to her hair, but she was just about her eyes, and now it's gone to them instead of it. I'm feeling like her eyes were galaxies. She had them brushed.
It was very unpleasant, because, eyes.
Whenever her father is around, though it's usually her mother who brushes them. For Mrs. Clark, she never cares much about how Dina looks. She is always on her daughter's side. Always think for her. Of course. Is that an instruction for me, the reader?
Always think for her.
Of course, she always knows what her husband, who does not like Dina at all, in parentheses. Thanks, I didn't fucking notice.
Really, he was such a subtly well done character.
That's like Suicide Squad fucking levels of it. Like, Jesus Christ.
Dina doesn't have any friends. Her father has been imprisoning her for all her life.
Didn't just say this.
We already know this.
This paragraphs start off with that.
And even though her house is really huge,
Because she has a man.
Mansion, yes, we know.
she still feels very lonely.
Really? Because she has no friends, which you just established at the beginning of the sentence.
She used to have thoughts on making a friend or like a certain boy,
By Jeff the Killer, probably.
but it seems impossible in this situation.
I'm sure it won't be.
Currently, the only person that supports her is her mother, Mrs. Clark.
Yes,
I know who her mother is!
God. Oh,
So
my
she really
God.
adores her.
This is brilliant. This is fantastic.
Dina thinks
Next paragraph is
about
going to go about how she's
these
lonely.
things
Yeah.
as she watches the kids playing around from the window.
From the walls.
Suddenly,
You're looking from my bar.
someone knocks on Dina's room
Hang
door.
on, hang on.
Come in. Mrs. Clark comes in and says,
Tina, I will be going to the department store later.
Why the
Do you want me to buy anything for you?
You sound like that song. So
so you mean Tiny Tim?
That's it.
Mrs. Clark says as she looks at Dina, no thanks.
But dear, you haven't been eating anything recently, and you seem thinner than before. I'll buy you something to eat later.
Mrs. Clark left the room before Dina can even stop her. It's not a creepypasta without violent changes in time.
Violence changes in time. I love that.
I told you, I don't want it. ... sigh. Despite saying no, Dina actually wants to try something from outside. Clothes, food, everything is not interesting for her now. She wants to try something from the outside world. Excuse me? But no... ... Dina knows that ever since she was born, a maid was employed by my family.
What the fuck?
Jacob, what have you been doing to this poor girl? You and your family vendetta against
That's
her.
what it says, my family. Her name is Maisha, and her job is to take care of Dina, but the maid's job is actually, in fact, to be Mr. Clark's bodyguard.
What?
He spent a lot of money to recruit this woman, who has loads of criminal records.
Oh, wow. Does she have lots of belts in fighting as well?
But presumably this means she has several people's criminal records, because no one's got more than one. It doesn't matter how many crimes you've committed; they all go on the same record.
So maybe it's identity theft on such a large scale.
She is the permanent record.
To prevent Dina from causing trouble, as well as to protect him. After all, who knows what Dina will do to him?
I had to hire a bodyguard with a criminal record to protect me from my 13-year-old daughter who's never left the house.
Like, who knows what Dina will do to him? Find out in the next sentence.